This is about your tone of voice. Isn't it, my little child? If you believe in angels, watch this video. Angel says, this is a message for you. You have been wondering about the tone. Recently, your voice has not sounded like your own. You talk, but it echoes back to you. New weight you try to be light, but even you laughing is heavy, and your voice carries emotions. Never used to hold, and even when you utter the simplest things, the tone is weighted. Angel, trembling and weird to your own ears, says, this is not just imagination, it is spiritual. Fatigue is more than just stress. It's about your tone of voice is abnormal because your soul is conveying messages. Your mouth hasn't been able to release, and you've been fighting back tears. You have silenced aspects of your truth that were destined to be heard. Endure the noise around you, and now your voice is not your own. Alone it carries the burden of years. The sound of sadness buried in polite conversation, the echo of times when you wanted to scream but smiled instead. This is about you. You've felt it. You've sensed it. You've stood in a room filled with people. They heard your remarks but still felt unheard, unseen, and misconstrued. Not your soul, you smiled, but they didn't notice. The agony in your voice, and lately even you don't recognize your own tone, it cracks in the middle. Phrases, it gets sharp when you're not trying to be. It waves when you say you're okay. God continues, I have observed I am the one who created you. Voice, I designed every part of you, and I know that your voice was made to sing. To bless, to heal, but right now it sounds like it's been carrying weights that weren't made for you. This is spiritual fatigue that has crept into your sound, and the world cannot understand it, but I, the Lord your God, you may have been misled or misunderstood. Someone close to you misread your quiet and rewrote it. Tale in their minds, making you appear frigid when you were merely trying to. God declares, I am bringing justice to your. I am returning to you the voice of clarity, the song of joy, and the power of truth, but first allow me to reveal what's been suffocating your soul. Angel says, there are folks have spoken over you for too long. They have tried to define your tone, tried to pervert your reality and name your enthusiasm as something else. They told others you were too much, too loud, and too emotional. Sensitive, but they didn't notice that your voice was emanating from wounds that were never acknowledged. Your tone shifted since you've had to defend yourself more times, you've been sheltered, and you've had to justify yourself more than you were believed. You've had to talk louder just to be heard, and occasionally you've gone totally. Angel replies, your voice is quiet because it felt like no one was listening. Precious, I recall the first sound you made when you entered this. I was there when you first sobbed. I was there when you first learned to. I heard the tunes you sang to me while no one else was around. I could hear the prayers you said when your heart was cracking, and I've heard your voice shake behind a smile. I've seen you stand strong in front of others and fall when we were finally alone, and I could hear the battle in your voice. The need to be soft and loving, as well as bold and honest. Your tone is not off. Honest, your tone is tired of being the filtered angel says, you are not broken, but you have been silenced in ways the world cannot. That's why I'm speaking to you right now. This message is for you. Didn't ask for this agony. You didn't volunteer for it. Despite your burdens, you have carried them gracefully. Still, you've tried to smile and answered phone calls. Shown up for others, wrote words of encouragement even while your own soul was bleeding silently, but now I say enough with denying your truth for the benefit of others. Comfort enough of restricting oneself so that others do not misinterpret. You've had enough of softening your voice when all you need is to be heard. Your voice is prophetic, and your tone was never intended to. I made it. It sounds like everyone else's. I gave it depth and allowed it to carry thunder. I let it carry tears when you needed them. And now I'm polishing your voice to be what I always intended it to be. You've been through fire, and your tone has changed since you are no longer the same person you were before. You have grown. You survived and endured, and that endurance is now in your voice is not too loud. You are anointed finally. God is exposing the imposed quiet. On you is being broken. The misunderstanding that wrapped around your name is being removed. You will be heard, and your voice will not only be heard, but also understood. Carry truth, healing, and divine clarity. There are persons who once dismissed you who are about to turn around and say, I hear you. Now I fully understand. However, not because they changed their minds, because God is about to change your tone. Irrefutable. You don't need to explain everything. You don't need to defend yourself anymore. Your voice is being restored. Heaven itself. You are entering a new season where your sound has weight. Not because you are loud, but because you are full of divine truth. You will talk, and the mood will change. You will say simple things, and people will experience the presence of God. You are going to speak, and their hearts will quake, not in fear, but in wonder at God's power flowing through. This is about you, and your tone of voice is unusual. Your spirit is rising into its divine calling, and the world cannot quite place it. But heaven acknowledges it, and angels encircle you. Your words resonate into the realm of the invisible. It seemed like a voice cracking. From fatigue is a voice rising to purpose. God says, do not silence it. Do not shrink. Do not try to return to a version of yourself that no longer exists. You are not who you were, and that is sacred. You will begin to notice. People will pause when you talk. Strangers will be drawn to you. Your voice will carry the fragrance of peace and the fire of truth. The oil of healing, and it's not because you practiced it, is not because you trained for it, but because God affected your voice and set it apart. You have been chosen. You are appointed. You are being unveiled. As your voice increases, false impressions fall. God says the lies uttered about you, the opinions that attempted to redefine, are losing their grasp. You are unwinding. Those who have murmured about you in corners are being exposed. Not by your response, but by the undeniable they will see the presence I have placed within you. Strength, they will listen to your heart and witness the transformation that can only come from me. You are not bitter, you are not cold, you are not angry. Without you are awakening, and that awakening is reshaping your tone, so don't resist. Don't attempt to sound like you used to. Don't try to travel back in time. You kept the peace at the expense of your truth. God says your voice is evolving because your spirit is developing. You carry prophetic vibrations are now making some folks feel uneasy. That's why talks change when you enter that's why silence falls when you begin to talk. You carry weight. You carry authority and light. You don't need to shout to be. Your presence is sufficient, and your sound is your truth is adequate, and this message is for you. Are not imagining the shift, you are not overthinking it. You are simply awakening to who you were always intended to be. Beautiful, sacred, strong. Allow your tone to alter. Shift, let it shake with truth. Let it carry your fire. Prayers and the softness of your submission. Let it be everything it needs to. God says, I am with you, I am in your sound. So speak. Lover, speak even if your voice shakes. Speak the truth in an unfamiliar setting. Healing, speak the revelation because your tone is repaired by the Creator of the universe, and there is no higher power. Finally, God is exposing this. Years you were hushed. Moments you swallowed your words, the pain beneath your courteous answers. The truth behind your controlled tone. Everything is being brought to light, and your voice will rise not in bitterness but in beauty, not fury but in revelation, not in rebellion, but in righteous purpose, because your voice has never lost it was hidden until now. God says, this is about your tone of voice isn't usual because I'm doing stuff. Angel says this is about the supernatural within you. This message is not for someone else, and it does not belong here. To a stranger, a friend, or someone you previously knew, this message is yours. It was penned in the heart of eternity, before the winds began to blow. It was murmured across the face of the waters. Angels' mouths and carried by the breath of my spirit through time. Quiet in every time when you believed no one understood you. I've seen every word you've said, even when you believed it was nothing. Noise in the air. I've heard your voice, and your tone of voice was not natural since your soul is not at peace. Your tone has altered not only in volume or pace, but in the ache. Soul behind it. You talk with a weight that no other appears to notice, but I do. This message is for you. I wish please take it seriously. I understand that life has not felt fair. I understand that many have misunderstood you and worse, ignored you. You pretend you're alright, but you cry behind your words. Your voice trembles, you insist it's fine, but the shake in your tone says otherwise. Tale, you've learned to hide behind words to construct phrases that sound acceptable, but I, the Lord your God, see deeper than the sounds you produce. I perceive the language of your heart, the quivering of your inner self, the silence. Scream for aid that escapes even your own understanding. Trumpet in a world that refuses to hear. But I hear you loud and clear. There's something precious about your voice, sounds like that of someone who they have suffered more than they confess. The tone of someone who is trying to remain calm while their world swirls in invisible ways. It is the sound of a heart that has been faithful even when others have gone away. Your speech carries the weight despite your fights, it still sings. Miraculous, your tone is the sound of someone praying in quiet, hoping I will, even if your lips don't know how to make the yes, I see it. Your lovely voice has grown unknown even to yourself. There are times when you pause after speaking and wonder what that was. Why did I sound like that? It is not yours. Fantasy, there has been a shift. It is not because you are shattered beyond repair, but the burden you are carrying is bigger than what you were. Never designed to bear alone, your speech has become a mirror of your soul's weight, and it is crying out for rest. You have learned to smile while your voice trembles. You've trained to be strong, but your words betray the I am not judging you for your exhaustion, I am calling you. This message is not a warning, but a lifeline. It is a call back to the place when you spoke with your first love. Free with me, where your voice came not out of fear or confusion, but peace. I remember those days and crave for them. Again, your voice is sacred to me in every cry, whisper, and quiver. I have treasured every word you've ever said. Gems, I never missed a single one. Your tone has not been typical. Because your soul has been under spiritual pressure, things have happened. You haven't properly comprehended everything around and within you. People have said things, and circumstances doors have opened and others have slammed shut. Relationships have become distant. And certain wounds have never really healed, therefore your voice has carried a mix of hope and concealed grief, yet today I speak life over it. Sorrow, I am breathing new power into your I am announcing a new sound over your future. You will no longer speak with the tone of defeat, shiver of fear, and doubt of rejection. I am repairing your music, and your voice will return. The sound of your laughter, which was muted by disappointment, will soar. The tone of tranquility, which you formerly knew, will be heard in your talks. Again, I replace the echoes of anxiousness with the music of joy. Your voice is transforming from stillness to strength. You will talk with authority, not out of conceit, but because of my spirit living in you. I will flood your words with grace. With clarity and healing, your voice will no longer reflect your wounds, and it will reflect your healing. This message is for you, it is not fancy, this is divinity. Intervention. I want you to stop, breathe, and remember who you are. You are not lost in me. You are not wordless. Your voice may be damaged, but it is not broken, and I am giving you the freedom to speak again freely and safely. Sincerely, not just to others but to myself. I miss hearing the honest truth from you. Come speak to me again in the same way you hide from the world. Don't be afraid, the world may not have understood your voice, but I've always heard the language behind it. I know when it shakes, I understand when it attempts to sound strong but can barely stand. I know when you shout in frustration and when you hush. Surrender. I know you, and I want you to know that I am not. I'm ashamed of your voice, yet I love the sound of I made it, I sculpted every syllable and tone, every inflection, and I want to mend what the world tried to silence. So talk, even if it's in parts or not. Even if it doesn't make sense, I'm not waiting for perfection. I am waiting for honest words, so tell me what hurts, tell me what you want to say to others but can't. Pour out your heart like water in front of me, and I shall meet you. There, I will respond to you not with judgment, but with compassion. I will wrap your voice in my mercy and teach it to sing. Again, when you enter the world, you will speak differently. People will hear you and not understand what has changed, but they will feel the peace, they will notice the shift. Your comments will carry weight. Because they are loud, but because they are genuine, you will speak, and lives will not because you are powerful on your own, but because my Spirit will be. Yes, your voice is changing again. This time, it is not because of suffering. It is changing because you are. Healing. It is changing because I am making everything new. It is changing because your purpose is coming into emphasis. You were never intended to be silent. You were never meant to talk. From scars forever, now you will speak from wisdom. This message is for you. Do not reject it. Don't postpone it, and don't let it pass you by. This is your moment to come closer and discover your voice again in mine. I have patiently waited for this moment. I watched as you went through flames, and I saw the strength it took. Say even one phrase when you felt like crumbling. And now I say, well, you made it, and I'm taking you into a spot. Your voice will no longer be a symbol of survival, but a sound of you are the focus of this resurrection. You are seen, you are known, and you are heard, and I love you like no other. Angel says, this is about. You have an unusual tone of speech because something has been churning in your spirit, is something deep and sacred. You have tried to silence your trembling, but I hear it. There is a shift in your energy, a change in your breath, and even the way you attempt to act as if nothing is wrong, but your words convey the silent anguish in your heart. I watch how your voice falters when you talk, how your words shake with the unspoken prayers, and how you've been attempting to mask your fatigue under a smile you don't have to fake anymore. This message is for I know what has happened behind closed doors. I know what you have been carrying inside, and I know how much you want to be heard. To be held, to be healed. There is a reason your voice, the sound, is what makes it sound the way it does, not a flaw of a soul who has endured much and still chooses to speak. You've been repressing your genuine sentiments for too long, and now your tone represents the silent fights you endure in the darkness. But I am here. I am the one who hears what no one else does. I hear your silence. Cries, I hear the hesitation between your words. I hear the brokenness that you try to hide with politeness. Cloaked as strength, I hear everything but do not turn away. This is more than just a minute message. Your voice is distorted and unclear, indicating that something needs to be. You are not designed to carry that much by yourself. You are not supposed to suffer silently. There is a time for clinging on. And there is a moment for letting go, which I am now inviting you to do. The ache, the weight, the burden, the anxiety, you were never designed to do this alone. That is why I have stayed by your side. Even when you couldn't feel me, that's why I kept whispering tranquility into your spirit even when everything around you seemed like perplexity. I will not abandon you now, I will be with you. Rest confident that nothing will go wrong with you, you are safe and covered. Cradled in my love, that tremble in your voice is sacred, it is your soul's attempt to convey you anything essential, don't ignore it or push it apart. It is a hint that you need relaxation, healing, and that you need to return to me in prayer. You have been so strong for so long, and I honor that, but now I beg you to be still. Allow yourself to cry again if necessary to release all the burdens you've carried. Near to your breast I notice how you remain up late, thinking about things you can't change. I watch how you replay discussions, wondering what you did wrong, wondering why things unfolded. They did, but I want you to know this, you are not